So earlier in the previous class, we have discussed like what is the functional dependency and what is the transitive dependency. So
Yes.
in second NF, you have to remove that functional dependency and transitive dependency. So we have just discussed here, like it is a table where employee code and project code is called as the composite key. Means those are commonly called as a primary key. You can uniquely identify each row. And ours, so here ours is dependent upon the employee code and project code. Ours is dependent upon the employee code and project code. Department is functionally dependent upon the part of the key. Department is functionally dependent upon the part of the key, which is called the employee code. Department is dependent upon the employee code.
Yes.
Okay. It is not dependent upon the project code. Department head is dependent upon, functionally dependent upon the employee code.
Employee code.
Okay. So to convert the project table into the second NF, you must remove the attributes that are not functionally dependent on the whole key. It is not functionally dependent on the whole key. So you should replace and remove the attribute from the different table along with the attribute they are functionally dependent on. So now we divide it. So employee table is present in one table, project table is present in one table. Now we can store the employee information easily in one table. Now move to the third NF. So the relationship is said to be in the 3NF if and only if it is in the second NF and no transitive dependency exists between the non-key attribute. So there is no transitive dependency in the non-key attribute. Okay, I'm going to say dependency. Just a minute. Okay, so a relationship is said to be the 3NF if and only if it is in the second NF. Okay. No transitive dependency exists between the non-key attribute and key attribute. So first of all, you have to ensure that your table must be in the second NF and there is no transitive dependency is present. Remember that in second NF it is saying that there is no functional dependency.
Intransitive.
Functional
Yeah,
dependency. Second NF में बोलता है तो आपका functional dependency नहीं रहेगा. Third NF is saying that there is no transitive dependency. The guideline for converting a table into 3NF are find and remove the non-key attributes that are functionally dependent on the attribute that are not primary key. Place them in a different table. Find and remove the non-key attribute that are functionally dependent on attribute that are not primary key. Okay. So find and remove the non-key attribute. Non-key attribute means those are not acting as a primary key or composite key. Okay. Remove that non-key attribute that are functionally dependent on the attribute, but it is not primary key. Place them in a different table. Means the two column is functionally dependent on each other, but they are not considered as a primary key.
Primary key.
Okay. So place them in a different table and group the remaining attributes. So in this employee table, we have like employee code E101, system E901, E305, finance E909. Okay, E101 system in E901, E305 finance E909, E402. So these are the what employee information we store, like employee code, department, and department head. Okay, so the three information store here: employee information and department information. Okay, now what is the problem we are facing here? The first problem is what? Like here, insertion is having a problem. The department head of the new employee that doesn't have any new employee at present cannot enter in the department head column. The department head of a new department, so you cannot insert or you cannot assign or cannot assign enter store any value of the department. Okay, so those department doesn't have any kind of employee. If the department is not having any employee, so you cannot store the department information here. So here updation is having a problem. For a department head is repeated. Any change will have to made. Any change that you have to made that will consistently across the change the table. So if you want to change anything, it will change the information. Okay. Deletion means when you delete any employee, if you delete the employee record, then automatically what happened? Department information is also deleted. If you delete the employee record, the information about the department head will also deleted. So that is a deletion. So let us check the employee table in the 3NF. So it is having a primary key. In this table, it is having a primary key. Employee code is a primary key. Department head is functionally dependent upon the department. Department is dependent upon the department head, but these are two keys, not a primary key. Okay, so these are two keys, not a primary key. So department is dependent upon the department head, but it is not a primary key. Okay, so department is dependent upon the department head, but it is not a primary key. And here problem is what? If you delete the employee information, department information is deleted. And if you want to store any employee, if you want to store any department information, new department information, so it is not allow you to insert any employee information as because if you not assign or if you are not hiring any employee, then you are unable to store this information. Okay, so it is my problem. It is the problem of this table. Now we give a solution here that we separate the employee information in one table and department information in one table. So here what happened? You can store the employee information easily here, and here you can store the department information easily. Okay, you can store the employee information here easily, and you can store the department information here easily. So both are here separated. Next comes to the Boy's Code normal form. The original definition of 3NF. ये समझ में आया? 3NF? Dipesh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Boy's Code normal form. The original definition of the 3NF was not sufficient in some situation. It was not satisfactory for the table that had multiple candidate key. If any table has a multiple candidate key, then it is not satisfactory. Where the multiple candidate key were composite key. Multiple candidate key are composite key. So in one table, you found the multiple candidate key are present. Where multiple candidate key are overlap. Okay, suppose if you candidate key means if you take the composite key, so you have the three such a key. Those are what tends to like primary key. In between one column is defined as a what common between the two composite key. The Boy's Code normal form is saying that where you want to make one column as a primary key, but okay, here you found the multiple candidate key. Those are tends to, or those are eligible for the primary key. The guideline for converting the table into BCNFR, find and remove the overlapping candidate key and place the part of the candidate key and the attribute. It is functionally dependent on the in a different table. So first of all, you have to find and remove the overlapping candidate key and place the part of the candidate key and attribute. It is functionally dependent on in a different table.
एक टेबल में अगर रोल नंबर और रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर है,
आपको दिखाते हैं ये सिनेरियो को हम यहाँ पर आते हैं. तो इस टेबल में एम्प्लॉय कोड एंड प्रोजेक्ट कोड इज ए प्राइमरी की, और यहाँ पर नेम और प्रोजेक्ट कोड प्राइमरी की है. तो यहाँ पर ये दोनों ऐसा कॉलम है और ये जो 3 कॉलम ऐसा है. अगर आप कोई भी एक जोड़ी को एज अ प्राइमरी की चूज करते हो तो इट टेंड्स टू ए प्राइमरी की. तो ये दोनों जो की हमने ले लिया एज अ प्राइमरी की, तो यहाँ पर ओवरलैपिंग की कौन है, कौन सा की ओवरलैपिंग हो रहा है?
Name.
इज इट नेम?
नेम सर.
हाँ, ओवरलैपिंग मतलब दोनों में आ रहा है वो कॉलम.
Project code.
प्रोजेक्ट कोड, नेम.
Yeah.
देखो यहाँ पर फिगर देखो, एम्प्लॉय कोड
Yes, yes,
प्रोजेक्ट
yes.
कोड को लेकर आप प्राइमरी की डिफाइन कर सकते हो, नेम और प्रोजेक्ट कोड को भी लेकर आप प्राइमरी की डिफाइन कर सकते हो. तो आपका ओवरलैपिंग की कौन हो गया? प्रोजेक्ट कोड इज
Project. Yeah. Hmm.
ओके. सो प्रोजेक्ट कोड इज ए ओवरलैपिंग की. So now the following points describe the functional dependency in a project table. Ours is functionally dependent upon the employee and employee code and project code. Our is dependent upon the employee code and project code. Our is also functionally dependent upon the name and project code. Our is dependent upon the employee code, project code. Our is also dependent upon the name and project code. So name is functionally dependent upon the employee code. Every employee is having employee code. Employee code is functionally dependent upon the name. Employee code is functionally dependent upon the name. So you notice that in the project table, multiple candidate key that are employee code and project code, name and project code. So yeah, so you have multiple candidate key. One is employee code and project code. Another is name and project code, which is called as the composite key. Candidate key that overlaps in the project code attribute is common between the two candidate key. The candidate key that overlaps in the project code attribute is common between the two candidate key. So in between two candidate key is what? Project code. Okay. So project code is attribute. The candidate key is overlap since project code attribute it's common between the two candidate key. Okay. तो ये जो प्रीवियस टेबल में कौन है, ओवरलैपिंग की कौन है? प्रोजेक्ट कोड. ओके, समझ में आया कितने? हाँ, अरे क्या देख रहे हो, इसमें क्या है? आपका एम्प्लॉय कोड प्रोजेक्ट कोड को लेकर हम कंपोजिट की करते हैं, नेम और प्रोजेक्ट कोड को कोई लेकर प्रोजेक्ट कोड जो कंपोजिट की करते हैं. तो यहाँ पर ओवरलैपिंग की कौन हो गया?
Project code.
दोनों चीज में जो आ रहा है वही चीज का मतलब बोलेंगे क्या?
हाँ,
दोनों चीज में मतलब
रूम नंबर, बेड नंबर, कंपोजिट की हो गया. यहाँ पर एम्प्लॉय कोड प्रोजेक्ट कोड कंपोजिट की, नेम और प्रोजेक्ट कोड कंपोजिट की. समझ में आया? तो इसमें कॉमन कौन गया? प्रोजेक्ट कोड कॉमन गया. ओके, तो ये बोल रहा है जो कॉमन होता है उसको निकाल दो और उसके ऊपर जो डिपेंडेंट है उसको भी निकाल दो. समझ में आया? तो ओनली नॉन की एट्रीब्यूट, तो ये जो टेबल में नॉन की एट्रीब्यूट कौन है ना? आवर्स, which is dependent on the whole key, that is employee code and project code and name and project code. Employee code, name are determinant since they are functionally dependent on each other. As per as the BCNA, the determinant have to be a candidate key. तो determinant कौन है? The determinant has to be a candidate key. So you remove the name and employee code and place them in a different table. तो ओवरलैपिंग की कौन हो गया? प्रोजेक्ट कोड। तो प्रोजेक्ट कोड को निकाल दो, और क्या रह गया? नेम एंड एम्प्लॉय कोड। तो नेम एंड एम्प्लॉय कोड को मैं अलग रख देता हूँ यहाँ पर, और जो दूसरा डिटेल्स है यहाँ पर अलग रख देता हूँ। तो आराम से यहाँ पर एम्प्लॉय का इंफॉर्मेशन रह जाएगा, एक टेबल में आपका प्रोजेक्ट का इंफॉर्मेशन रह जाएगा। ओके, तो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज बीसीएनए। समझ में आया दीपेश?
Yes, sir.
So it is not like that only what these are the four normalization form is there. There is a other different normalization form is present, but in our journey we learn about this. Okay, so we break our table in the four way. Other like fifth NF, sixth NF is there, sixth NF form is there. So that is what, till you are not getting your desired result depending upon your scenario, you have to break the table. You have to again break the table. Okay, so you do it. Okay, you do this break till you are not getting the information. Okay. So next I comes to the denormalization. Sometimes we have to join the multiple table to get simple output. This affects the performance of the query. In such cases, a degree of redundancy is introduced either by adding extra column or by using extra tables. Okay, sometimes we have to join multiple table to get a simple output. We're joining the multiple table to get a simple output. This affects the performance of a query. In this case, a degree of redundancy is introduced either by adding the extra column or extra table. Okay, either by adding the extra column and extra table. So here, the intentional introduction of redundancy in a table in order to improve the performance is called as the denormalization. Normalization में हम टेबल को ब्रेक किए, denormalization में intentionally हम दोनों टेबल को ऐड कर रहे हैं to getting the result. So that is called as the denormalization. The intentional introduction of redundancy in a table in order to improve the performance is called denormalization. So consider a table where we have the orders and products. Orders and products, these are the two tables are present. Now what happens if a shopkeeper wants to calculate the total sales of his shop? He can use the following query. Select sum, cost into quantity, 0 into 10, cost into quantity from order, join with products on order.product ID equals to product.product ID. Okay, so here we are using this query is what? I'm not saying that you have to remember this query. This query, like you have one statement like join. So join is saying that you have to join the two table and getting the result. Join basically it is used to join the table for getting the result. So there is a join and computation involved in the in preceding query. Therefore, if there are thousands of rows, the server will take a lot of time to process the query and return the result. Okay. So this is called our denormalization, or our RDBMS concept is over. I will share this note. Okay. now we start our database part. Okay. I have the PDF file of this Oracle book. Okay, I will share you. Please share your mail ID. Okay, I will share you.
ये slides
नहीं ये तो भेजेंगे और बुक से ओरेकल यूनिवर्सिटी का बुक से ओरेकल का बुक है ना हाँ यूनिवर्सिटी
Sent in the chat box.
हाँ यार no you send me in the WhatsApp
Okay.
चला जाएगा ना Okay, so in any database, it is not like that 11G or 12C or 19C. Okay, so in any database of Oracle, it contains three parts. One is your infrastructure grids, information management, and another is application development. Okay, so it contains the three parts: infrastructure grid, informational management, and application development. The infrastructure grid technology of the Oracle, it enables pulling of low-cost server and store to form system that deliver the highest quality of service in terms of manageability, high availability, performance. The Oracle database consolidate and extend the benefit of grid computing apart from taking full advantages of the grid computing. Oracle Database 11G or Oracle Database has unique change assurance feature to manage change in a controlled and cost-effective manner. So first of all, this infrastructure contains the grid technology of Oracle, pulling a low-cost server and storage to form the system that deliver the highest quality of service in terms of manageability. इसका मतलब क्या है ना हम जो इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर करेंगे वी स्टोर दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इन ए ग्रिड का मतलब क्या है ना वी स्टोर इन ए रो एंड कॉलम फॉर्मेट इन ए टैबुलर स्ट्रक्चर वी स्टोरिंग द इंफॉर्मेशन वी स्टोर द इंफॉर्मेशन इन ए टैबुलर फॉर्म द Oracle database 11G consolidate and extend the benefit of grid computing. Okay, so when you are using grid is helping you to manage your information easily. Apart from taking full advantages of the grid computing, Oracle Database 11G has changed assurance feature to manage the changes. मतलब अगर कोई भी एक वर्जन से दूसरे वर्जन में चेंज होता है, it is not what highly changes is happen there. So पूरा सेम चीज रहता है and you can say for upgrading it take the lower cost. Cost is very effective manner. इतना बड़ा चेंजेस नहीं होता है डेटाबेस में ज्यादातर बड़ा चेंजेस नहीं होता है ओके सो वी आर यूजिंग दी स्मॉल चेंजेस एंड वी हैव टू मैनेज इट ओके देन Information management. Oracle Database 11G extend the existing information management capability in content management, information integration, information management lifecycle area. Oracle provide content management of advanced data types such as extensible markup language, XML, text, spatial, multimedia, medical, imaging, semantic technology. So these are the informational management is there. So it extends the existing information management capability in a content management. Content is what? Content is a source where all your information is stored and you retrieve it. जैसे कि गूगल सर्वर होता है, ये कंटेंट होता है. तो कंटेंट का में क्या होता है ना, आप एक कंटेनर है, आपको जो चीज चाहिए वहां से आप ले सकते हो. इट्स जस्ट लाइक you are going to the any party and you attend any marriage party or birthday party, and there is a buffet system is there, and there is a lot of items are present in their container. So which item you want, you take the plate and go to that and you have to access it. So similar way, content management is just like that. It is contain the huge amount of database. It is stored the database. If you want any specific information, you go to that specific segmentation and you have to retrieve it. The information management is just like that. Oracle Database 11G extend the existing information management capability in content management, information integration, information lifecycle management area. Oracle provide content management of advanced data type, that is we're using XML, text, spatial, multimedia, medical imaging, semantic technology. So here we use XML, we're using text, we're using spatial, multimedia, medical imaging, and semantic technology. It also supports application development. Oracle Database 11G has capability to use and manage all major application development environment such as PLSQL, Java JDBC, .NET, and Windows, PHP, SQL Server, and Application Express. Okay. So it contains the application management. Oracle Database 11G has capability to use and manage all the major application development environments such as PLSQL. Okay, so in the PLSQL part, you have to use PLSQL is what? Higher version of your SQL. Okay, so means here it is showing you what to do with the database. So PLSQL is saying that how to do the work on the database. So it is also providing you predefined manner, or it's showing you like a filterized manner to get the information. It is just like higher of this Oracle. Okay. In your student part, you can learn this both. Okay, if you want. And this Oracle is also used in the Java JDBC. Like if you want to store any application information in a database, so we are using this Java JDBC, .NET, Windows, PHP, SQL Server, Application Express. So these are the area where we're using this application. And Oracle database, the organization need to support multiple terabyte of information for user who demand fast and secure access to the database application round the clock. If you want to get your information round the clock and according to your requirement, you have to get the data, then we're using this database. The database system must be reliable, must be able to recover quickly in event and any kind of failure. Oracle Database 11G is designed along with the following feature area to help the organization manage the infrastructure grid easily and deliver high quality of service. So it provide you to give the high quality service as well as you can recover your information. अगर आपका data corrupt हो जाता है तो easily you can recover quickly. Like see that now when you change your mobile phone, you can easily get your information because your information stored in a cloud, like in your Gmail account. So from there you can easily get your information. high availability. By using the high availability feature, you can reduce the risks of downtime and data loss. This feature improve the online operation, enable the faster database upgrade. Performance. By using the capabilities such as secure file compression for online transaction processing, real application cluster optimization, result cache, and so on, you can greatly improve the performance. So performance wise, it is better. By using capabilities such as secure file system, if you store the file or you store the information, it makes your information secure. It makes your information as a compression. It is compressing your information. Compression means what? It is like minimized format. Okay, if you have the 20 MB of data, it is compressed to 15 MB. Means it is what? Like in a well-defined manner, it is stored. Oracle Database 11g enables the organization to manage the large scalable transactional and data warehousing system that deliver fast data access using low-cost modular storage. One is security. Oracle Database 11g helps the organization protect their information with unique secure configuration, data encryption, masking, sophisticated auditing capability. It delivers a secure and scalable platform for reliable, fast access to all type of information by using industry standard interface. So security, it protect your information in well manner so that you can easily, or you can you can protect your document from the outsider. Next is information integration. Oracle Database 11g has many features to better integrate data throughout the enterprise. Okay, like when you send any message from your smartphone to keypad mobile phone, then you can receive it, you can watch it. So that is what every device, when you send one message to the every device, so it is send all the information in a common format. That is called the XML format. So एक लैंग्वेज है XML, एक्सटेंसिबल मार्कअप लैंग्वेज, जिसको आप क्या करते हो ना, एक मैसेज को आप इस तरह से कन्वर्ट करते हो, सो इट इज ट्रैवल और ये मूव कर जाता है क्या, एक कॉमन फॉर्मेट में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, तो ये डिलीवर होता है डिफरेंट डेटाबेस में. So that is information integration. Like you can say, like another example, if you give, you access your Facebook through your mobile phone, you access your Facebook through your laptop. Okay, so that is what your information is integrated to all the devices. If you update in any source, you get all the things common here. Okay, that is information integration. Okay, so in next class, I will start with the Oracle Fusion middleware. Okay, so from this we have to start. After this is over, then we start to write our query. Okay, so our practical part now, we start it come from the Monday. Okay, so we will start here. Okay, after completion of this, on Monday we start the this one. Okay, so bye bye.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.